It's Friday. That means it's another comic book show roundup. This week on Gotham, it was about learning when to let go. And that message felt very personal to me, especially when Lee was telling Mrs. Freeze, it's hard when you love someone, when you remember the person that they were, the person that they could still become. You close your eyes to the truth. And sometimes I feel that way about Gotham. I keep hoping that this show will become, as great as I think it could be. And then there was Mr. Freeze, who told his wife, as long as you're still alive, there's hope, right? And I feel that same way about Gotham. There is still hope that someday they will stop focusing on villains that they cannot kill for 20-something years. Let's just hope Gotham doesn't crumble into dust like Mrs. Freeze. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. return! Yay! And this week's episode was about good guys working in the shadows. The president wanted to keep S.H.I.E.L.D. a secret, have them work in secret in the shadows, because he feels the public are not going to trust them ever again after what happened with Hydra and trying to take over the world or kill the world or whatever. So he wants the ATCU to be the public face of S.H.I.E.L.D. and have the person running the ATCU report to Coulson. Meanwhile, in Colombia, I think it is, I'm not sure, there was an Inhuman who they thought was using her powers for evil because she stole a bunch of weapons. It turns out she stole them from the law enforcement because they were evil and they were pretty much turning them on the people and they were just evil. So she was working for the good guys, the real good guys who were working in secret against this very public face of this, law enforcement organization. And it makes you wonder about the deal that the president is making with Coulson. And if, the ATCU may end up being very much like this law enforcement agency, and Coulson being the one in the light who ends up being the bad guys while the good guys still have to work in the dark. You never know. And then I think Ward is dead, and whatever is inhabiting his body really needs a sandwich. And on Legends of Tomorrow, I can't tell you whether this episode was good or bad. I was too distracted by the time period. Captain British does it again by sending Jefferson off to investigate, by saying Jefferson was the right age to investigate the disappearances of these teenagers, but waited until later to admit he was the wrong color. I get that this is a comic book show about time travel, but some things are just hard to ignore. Like when Jefferson was eating in a diner in a small, in a prejudiced, very racist small town, and I just kept expecting the Klan to show up with burning crosses. I feel like the show wanted to acknowledge the racism, but didn't want to put too much focus on it. But I'm sorry, that's just the world that we live in. Racism would have affected their ability to complete their mission, period, point blank. I felt like, if that's what you wanted to do, you should have probably kept Jefferson, Kendra, and maybe even Sarah on the time ship. My feelings about this, about that are this. Either do it right or leave it alone. You're doing no one any favors by half-assing it. So this week, half the shows were on hiatus. Next week, more will be. So I will still have to juggle Supergirl and Gotham. So what did you think of Legends of Tomorrow's trip to the 50s? Did you like it? Or did you think they dropped several balls? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, sharing is caring. Share this video with all of your friends and enemies. Gotta go. See you when I see you.